welcome to Horror Movies and Beyond. Today, I'm joined by the cast and crew of this intense action comedy thriller called Guy Manley Super Spy, a real movie. Welcome.
Thank you.
First of all, I have to say, this film was visually stunning, fun, and hysterical. And I am shocked that you four did this. And it's an independent film.
Yes.
I have so many questions. It was so good. The acting, the set design, just everything about it was just outstanding. And I just wanted to tell you guys that. You guys did such a great job. And it's hard to impress you.
Thank you.
And I do mostly horror movies. So this is like, wow, what? Baltazar, you play Guy Manley. Your performance in here was it was so fun. But first, I want to let people know that this is what this movie is about. A notorious ex-spy is assigned one last mission to kill an evil rich cash, preventing him from being elected mayor and destroying the town. This was filmed in Sweden, 2014.
Yes.
This began. 4 friends filmed this. And I love how it says 4 friends started a film project so big and ambitious, it never got finished.
Yeah.
7 years later, got finished.
Yeah.
What was happening during that time? Like, why did you stop? Or was you doing something along the way? I gotta know what was happening at that point.
Yeah, so the whole project started when me and Baltazar met each other in high school and got to know each other because he lives in Stockholm and we live in Västerås. So I went by train to school every day, didn't know anybody, and then we got to know each other. And for a school project, we was assigned to make a short film. And then Baltazar had the basic synopsis for Guy Manley about the whole story with the action hero and the villain, the rich cash. And I had a bunch of action scenes without characters that I wanted to do. So we were like, let's just put it together. And then we started to plan the Guy Manley story. But we realized that this is going to be too big for a school project. So we paused it for school, made another film. But after that, we made a lot of short films in our spare time because we love making movies.
Me and David have made a lot of music videos through the years, and so we've always been making films and videos, and but this is our first feature.
Yeah.
So when the idea of Guy Manley had been gnawing in David's brain for these 6-7 years,
and I was just like, we have to finish it. And by that time, also, we have gotten to know Anton. And we 3 actually work at the same production company here in Sweden. We will make commercials. So we make commercials for a living and do films all the time. And sometimes we get Baltazar to get his ass over to Västerås, and then we make a bunch of stupid short films just for fun. So that was like the basis for the whole revamping of Guy Manley.
I add as well that part of the reason why we had this hiatus is that all the cast was from our class. So we weren't sure if we could get everyone together. Like, that was a whole project in itself, to just get the whole crew together to have the same people playing the same characters, which were all just our friends from school.
Yes.
Your first feature.
Yeah, and this wasn't supposed to be a feature film neither. We were just like, it just gotta get finished. It doesn't matter how long it's gonna get or how short, how it's gonna look. I just need to have a file on my computer that says Guy Manley that I could click and watch. that was the goal.
Yeah.
It should be finished.
We never had any goal of like releasing the film commercially, or no goals for that or any ambitions really. We just set our own standard and just said, we're making this movie for ourselves the way we want to do it, and we want to make this film
for us
basically. And then
and that's also why we didn't have any investors, because we didn't even try to get any investors.
Exactly. It's basically a zero budget movie.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
For real.
Wait. Hold up. Basically a zero budget?
Yeah, we all financed it ourselves.
Yeah, we financed it ourselves, and people just helped us with stuff. So
it looks expensive.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we tried our best.
We tried our best.
Wow.
We could also. It just in that is my delay really bad, but it's just
a little bit.
We can hear you.
It seems like it's from okay. Well, I'll say it either way. Since it was the filming of it took place over a weekend here or there across many months or years.
Yeah,
we had time to
3 years
save up a little more money from work and my student loans and whatever little bits or pieces we could spare. We had some time between shoots to make a bit more money to finance it ourselves.
Yeah, and I would say that we're kind of lucky because, or if you would call it luck, but since we work at a production company, we have all of the gear in-house. We don't rent a camera for our commercial shoots, so we just got to borrow everything from our company. So they Pro Launch, as they're called, should have a major shout out for being the whole technical, what do you say, gear
technical support
yeah. They have financed us by letting us
borrow stuff.
Yeah, and cut the movie at the office and stuff like that. So, but as Baltazar said, also the whole main cast, or the whole cast, is just our friends and family.
That's incredible. And also, you had time to, you had years and months to figure it out.
Time.
And fine tune things, and that goes to show quality instead of just throwing out films, because there's $1 million films that I've watched and it's just the CG, everything is just terrible. You're like, how is this even possible? Because they have deadlines. But
exactly, we don't have deadlines for our own projects.
but it doesn't matter. It's you could see the love. It said something about 80s and 90s influence of action films. So my question is for David and Baltazar, how much research did you do when you're writing this over time? Because it was written in a way where everything just seems to be a flow, it was choreographed.
Yeah, I would say that we didn't do any specific research. We have done research our whole life by watching movies.
I was going to say the same thing. The research of those movies is just us being 10 to 14-year-old boys watching stupid action movies and getting inspired, I guess.
Yeah, and since we didn't sit down to just be okay, now we're gonna make our first feature film. We need to do research. We need to do that. It just sort of happened because the story came about in school, and then it just was left on the shelf. And we took the same script from back in the school and just tweaked it, reworked it, made it a bit beefier. So everything just came about, really.
But I want to add one thing when you're talking about the flow, because when we had actually decided that, okay, now we're gonna do this, we're not gonna give up, this time it's gonna be finished. David he storyboarded the whole film almost like a comic book, so everything was really planned out when we started production. So
nothing left to chance.
Nothing left to chance. Of course, there's a bit of room for improvisation on set, but of course, 90% of the film David has as basically a comic book, because he storyboarded every angle, every set, every position of tables and jars and glasses standing on bars.
And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that the movie actually exists. Because as Baltazar said, all of the main cast is still our friends from Stockholm in school. So we had to time it in on weekends when we could shoot. So if we didn't have a checklist to scratch when we shot the shots and had everything planned, we couldn't have made it, because sometimes you're filming an over the shoulder of this person and over the shoulder of this person, and this is like a year in between the shots. So everything needed to be planned out,
really planned out.
A real planned out movie.
So when did you actually started shooting? Like
August
year?
2020.
August 2010.
2020.
In the middle of COVID.
Most of the movies only made by us four. It was only us four on set, so we didn't have a big crew or anything. And the first thing we shot was when Manley arrives towards Louis' computer cave. So it was us and Milton Bjørnegren who plays Louis. So we were just locked in for a weekend. It's like this hottest weekend this whole summer,
full of haze in the studio and
full of haze, sweat, and ambition.
Yes,
love the montage and the music. The lyrics are just hilarious. But what I really liked that doesn't happen often in the movies that I watch is that the montage is telling you the story of Guy. But at the same time, if you listen to it, the dialogue is there, the conversation is there as he's going. So was that shot before and then the music was added, or you already had the lyrics and trying to figure out what scene would go where?
Most of the montage was storyboarded and shot even when I wrote the lyrics. So I think I had the song outlined, but I wrote the lyrics to match what was happening on screen. So, I got like
we had
cut of it.
We had the scene, planned out, and we knew that it was going to be a soft song, and like the lyrics should be funny, talking about what happened. We knew what it would be, but we shot it first and then wrote the lyrics. Or Baltazar wrote the
Except
lyrics.
for the musical number, that would be very hard to write the song afterwards.
When Guy Manley was back in the game, that song had to be written.
So every time it's like Guy Manley. Oh, sorry for my voice. So those lyrics was written by you, Baltazar? Was that you? Did you write the
yeah,
song?
I mean there are different versions of the Guy Manley theme. The one with Danger, which is the one that wrote a demo for that. Then Anton Gustin that did the musical score for the movie. He scored it like properly. And then there's a metal version where Dennis.
I sing that one.
So anytime
I'm a singer in a metal band also. So,
but when I'm singing and dancing as the character in that scene,
watch out, he's a dangerous man.
That's me.
And also, not to forget that it's actually Baltazar singing in the elevator version as well. That's in.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about the elevator version. The most important thing.
Well, you guys did everything.
Yeah,
you wasn't lying.
Everything.
You were.
Yeah, and as Baltazar said, we have one fifth guy, Anton Cloud Jumper Gustin. He's the composer for the whole film, so he's the biggest part that isn't us four, and he made the whole soundtrack, every single jar, every switch there as well. So, and he's also a guy from Västerås, a friend of ours,
and this is his first feature score also. So it's a first.
It's his first movie score. He hasn't even scored a short film or anything. we just went for it with the feature film.
I definitely see promising careers. I really do after this, because it was, like I said, it was so impressive. But that montage, I like the fighting the crimes, the in space, the slaying of dragons. I was like, where did that come from? That was like out of the blue.
Yeah, and that's the fun. As you said, we had a whole plan, but we left space for improvisation because we got to borrow a green screen studio here in Sweden that we shot. And the Baltazar just found that knight armor. Was like, wouldn't this be awesome?
Can we use this?
Yeah, we were like, okay, we need to call somebody.
I just went like behind a curtain somewhere and I found a knight's armor. I was like, please, can we? So,
and then we were like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Of course, Guy Manley has to slay a dragon before, and the dragon is called Azarath in the script now. After we added it in the script.
Well, I would have to say the real star of this entire film had to be those pants, because
we agree.
Those pants were so hyped up. to the point I was like, from the front and the back.
You can see him here.
When you
Anton.
stood there and you were
You can see him here.
like
Cut up.
this.
Look here. We have him here.
Oh my gosh, I need one of those. You could see the back; it was hiked up in the front. So I mean, this was that all you?
That's all him.
Secret of the trade. But no,
that's also
that was like,
Yeah.
I'm happy that people are responding well to that thing, because I just found it really funny to like pull them up as hard as possible, and like before every take, I was like, "Wait, David, don't say it yet," and I was like, just trying to make them go as high as possible. Just
Yeah, but
my own amusement.
and the strange thing about those pants is that they are actually
Very
just
unnaturally high.
normal pants. And when you
Wait,
bought
yeah.
them like 10 years ago, we were like, oh, what is happening?
No, but those were just some pants that I like didn't try in the store. So I came home. What is this? And then we decided to use it as the most. Yeah.
I love happy accidents.
Yeah, we do too.
And the close second was the hair. The hair was just like, it was flawless.
Not at all the changing every scene.
You can sort of
go ahead.
see. Oh, sorry. You can sort of like where one shoots ends and one begins, because it keeps changing. And it was during the pandemic as well. Like I couldn't go and get a haircut, and we didn't have like a hairstylist or anything for continuity.
Yeah,
It's different
we did our
lengths
best.
of hair, slightly different haircuts. Like my dad was cutting my hair during just to try to keep sort of
Keep the
same.
continuity.
Yeah.
Well, it worked. It worked with the character, and that reminds me. The mannerisms, the facial expressions. What did you do, Baltazar, to prepare for that character? Because, like I said, the character wasn't forced. It wasn't just feel like, okay, he is like quirky or something. It was, I don't know. It had a flow to this character. And what was the inspiration behind this character?
I don't know. First of all, thank you. Then we were just basically most of the happening is just whatever made us laugh on the day. And so if anyone had an idea, like, oh, try to say this in a weirder, more like unnatural way.
Who are you to call me, little man?
Yeah, and all of the silly walks. Like in the script, if it said that Manley walks into the room, we were just like, okay, how could he walk the funniest and like just do it weird?
Or I just do something silly and then they use that take.
And also like we have, it's almost like a cartoony kind of way to move. I'll call it almost like slapstick, and the expressions are really clear and in your face to make everything, to make sure that you don't misinterpret anything.
Exactly, and I think also that Manley as a character, he takes himself fully seriously, even though he's super goofy, and some of the times Lewis is like watching him, but come on, Manley, you gotta be serious right now, and Manley's like, yeah, I am, and does something totally out of place. And but he's also a very unstable man.
Yeah.
He often has breakdowns.
Very
and
close
like,
to his feelings.
Yeah.
Baltazar, was you always intended to play that character, or was it you wanted to give it to somebody else, or it was always you from the beginning?
No,
I mean, from the beginning, from the beginning, like we didn't have any other people. Like we couldn't, like, as 17-year-old boys in high school, we couldn't be like, oh, like, Brad Pitt, are you available this weekend in Westeros? Like,
oh, you know what I meant.
Brad Pitt, are you ready to pull up those pants?
Who else would have them hyped up?
It was just when we were gonna remake it, we just wanted to cast everyone as their old characters because we couldn't really picture it in any other ways.
Because you didn't know how or why he was a drunk, like, until there was a certain point in the film where he explains why he was a drunk. And that's one thing I really liked about this film is like, there's an explanation, but you have to continue watching it. Buck told him you have 30 days to, to get my brother. I was like, wait, when he was at the bar and he realized the election. So for 29 days, he was singing and dancing and drinking in the
Yeah, we're just, finishing his vodka stash in his suitcase.
I mean, it had you like interacting with it. It was really fun.
When we made our short films in school and stuff like that, all the teachers were like, why don't you make anything serious? Why don't you make anything serious? It's just a bunch of fun, stupid
Goofy stuff.
Yeah, and a thing that I think that many people can overlook is that this is absolutely a batshit insane comedy movie, but we've done it as seriously as we can and taken everything fully seriously. We have explanations for everything in the script, but that's like why the movie can be so crazy, because there is a base.
Everything makes sense when you break it down.
Yeah, because some people can just look at a movie like this and be like, oh yeah, they just threw it together. And we're like, no, it actually took a lot of planning and a lot of time and consideration to make everything so fun. So I'm glad that you appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like for the third time, I was like, oh, okay. Because some stuff I missed because I was like taking notes. That's kind of why I watched it. Plus, I really loved it. So when I would see things, I was like, oh, that's why he was doing that. Or that's why he said that. I mean, it makes sense. It's just not out of pocket. It's like just weird. It's taken seriously with comedic feel to it. Yeah, and I could definitely feel that. It's intentional. The sound effects were like the simplest thing. You do notice them, but it's throughout the film, but it makes sense. So was that like an afterthought, or was that intentional for like, even when the eyebrow goes up or the hair, it's like these.
Yeah, and it's a swoosh.
That's like the only way we've done movies.
Yeah, that's just our comedic style. We love over the top. Like if someone looks over there and makes a face, it's because it's funny and it's like if somebody opens a door, you're not gonna see it, you're gonna hear it as well. It's like when something happens, we just like to exaggerate with effects.
Yeah.
But it does go back to, you said the whole, when you storyboard everything, and it was like a comic book. If you're reading the comic book, it would have those sound effects so what is happening.
Yeah, my whole life is like that. When I'm walking out in the street, I'm like, so yeah, but that's also like because that's the way we make it when we're shooting it. Of course, the camera is going to make a whip, and Manley is going to turn really quick because we know how it's going to be in the edit with all of the stuff. So I would say it's planned, but it was never mentioned that we're going to do it. It was just like, yeah, we're going to do it as we always do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a nice touch. Baltazar, your voice, is that you? Like the
sort of raspy voice.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
was that intentional?
Did in high school. I just did a sort of a action star voice, a very
cool guy voice.
And then I just exaggerated it a little bit more for this movie. When we also decided that the character of Guy Manley was going to be a lot sillier than like it was initially intended in high school.
Hey, Lewis, I think I killed them all with my gun.
Oh, okay. It works. It does work with the character. I was just curious. Like, was it something? Did you like think it up, or it was like, okay, we need to change the voice because it's supposed to be an action hero? What can we do with it? I can't use like a regular voice, and it just really works for the character. So
it's kind of like Baltazar said, when we did the movie in high school, in that version, sometimes Manley was supposed to be cool, like for real cool. But that's why that movie's. I'm glad that movie didn't get finished, because it would be super horrible and like a cliche high school movie where somebody wakes up and it was all a dream or something like that. So when we made the new one, or the real one, as Baltazar said, we just made it clear like Guy Manley should never be cool. He should think that he's cool, but he should always be the stupidest person in the room. So that's also like why the whole voice came from, and all those mannerisms.
There's one thing about this film that it was like on the top of the list, that there wasn't a love interest. Like there wasn't some girl he had to go get. No, because I see action films like that all the time. Yeah. You know, it's like it's like a normal thing. Or they got to save the girl's with him or something. It's like, you know, can we have something different? But this one, it was a goal. It was a goal to get the brother. Yes. And that was the only goal. It did, but the goal was so far-fetched because it's like you didn't even question. But then, like I said, you have to pay attention to the film because he just does what he's told to do. He does it.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, like duh, that's what he's. Pay attention.
But then, in the very last like scene, he actually makes his own decision.
Yeah.
So that's sort of. I mean, it goes
because he's
like,
actually grown a lot since the last time he met Buck.
Yeah, but
not just personality
in all the stupidity and goofiness, but that's like the thought behind it. Was like he makes his own like decision for the first time based on his own values or whatever. If you want to look into it or like or read into it to that level.
Yeah, but also I think as things turn out through the film, he learns like this may not be a good idea. And then the choice came like once he realized, well, who are really the bad guys? You know, like you know, like somebody else could be. So he makes that decision, like, I would rather not have you either. In some way. Like, why even bother?
Holy shit. When you're talking about it, it sounds like this movie has a story. Yeah.
The stormtrooper guards, it was so good. How did you shoot that scene with the visual effects and you, Baltazar? Like, it just seemed like everything was like a dance. It didn't feel like just a shot, go to the next thing. But even when you were shooting on the ground and you pushed yourself, like everything was intentional of where it was. And I know you guys used the storyboard, but still it had such a choreographed flow. It made sense with the characters. So how with the visual effects, it was just amazing.
Yeah, but we knew that at that point in the movie, like it needed to
ramp up a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's when Guy Manley really is back in the game to save the day. And we just wanted to keep it interesting because when we made the old version as well, all of the action in that one is pretty boring, I would say. But also like it's because he's always moving forward, so it made sense that for every guard that he kills, he should take one step forward and just keep on moving. So because he was just standing shooting about a bunch of guys, and we were like, it's much more interesting to keep everything pushing forward. And also back to like the cartoony sense, you know, with like the Scooby-Doo cartoons when they're on the floor and like walking with their fingers and toes. And we're like, okay, what if Manley like slides on the floor and moves away because he's sort of a action figure man as well, just like goofy movements and stuff. So we just ran with it, and we also had one of the guards who's actually the same guy who plays the guitar in the metal theme, and he's an old gymnast, so he was our only real stunt person. And we tried to apply it to his, like, I can fall this way, I can fall this way, and we were like, hey, the Manley could do something like this, because we had Tom, is his name, and we had him over. We talked about the scene, like what kind of movements he could make, and try to apply it a bit to him as well. So.
But a lot of stuff in that scene was pretty improvised, if I remember correctly.
We had a shot list.
We had a general plan, but I think a lot of the ideas came up when we were shooting it.
A lot of Manley's or Baltazar's like poses, all of those were improvised. But his momentum forward, like when he was about to come up behind the guard and put the gun in his head and use him as a shield, all of those stuff, those were planned.
Yeah, but as I remember, where I'm standing, like doing different poses, like shooting everyone, that's just we rolled the camera. And they're doing stupid things for like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's all you, baby.
Got it together. Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, and also with the visual effects, we only had 2 guard outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only
Wait
thing
a minute. Wait a minute. So you're telling me there's only 2 guards?
Yeah.
That entire shootout?
Yeah, the entire movie.
Yeah, entire movie.
Yeah.
We've had 2 outfits, but a lot of people who have played guards.
Yeah, because we couldn't have the same guys the same weekends.
So it's just whatever friend that was available at that time when we were shooting.
And like I play a guard, Anton plays a guard, Baltazar plays a guard, you play a guard.
Yeah.
You get a guard, you get a guard.
So all that visual effects that you put in extra.
Yes.
There's better films here in America because
there's a lot of visual effects hidden throughout the movie as well.
Wow, that's had me fooled.
Yeah, that's great.
But there was, correct me if I'm wrong, or you could not correct me, but I realized something very interesting and clever because I was trying to figure out. Guy was right there. It was like the stormtroopers of guards going on. Like he was being shot at, like up close and certainly he has not been hit. Now, there's 2 ways you can look at that. Obviously, this is like an 80s, 90s influence action. So you could be like, well, remember back in the day where, people would be having a shootout and the guy would never get hit. I mean, it's like endless bullets and everything. But I don't know if this was intentional or did you guys know when Guy was standing in front of the other guard and the way he was walking to him, I was like, what? Like, what's happening here? But when he started shooting at him, it turned into like a Matrix thing. Like he was moving. So my theory is that the entire time that the guards were shooting him, he was dodging the bullets, but it was so quick that you didn't notice.
That's a great interpretation.
I would say that you're right on both accounts.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be lying. Don't be saying.
No. It is a reference to all of the action heroes not getting shots,
and we the direction for exactly that shot when he's walking is. When the guard starts shooting, Manley should be dodging the bullets, but he should be doing it in a very goofy way because Manley is goofy.
In the script, it says Manley dodges the bullets.
Exactly.
So in the story, he dodges the bullets, but from our filmmaker point of view, it's a reference to all the plot armor throughout the years.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and the cliche of bad guys being bad at aiming.
The cliche of that, but just pulled or taken to the most extreme place we can make it, making it very apparent.
Okay. Well,
so it's not a cop-out answer. You were right.
Okay. Because I don't know. I just pieced that together. I was like, it has to be he just couldn't get shot because he was so quick. Like, especially the way he was like. And I was like, oh, okay. And we finally get to see it because you have the one guard. So that was what's happening. But if I was gonna say if that wasn't real, you should just keep it like that. Like, ooh.
Yeah. And it's also funny that you mentioned the walk because that was also just on the spot. It was okay, how can we do this? And then when you made we were like, this is the only way that Manley can do this. We have to go with this. This is awesome.
Okay. So there's one scene I'm kind of ashamed to say, but for some reason, Baltazar, I don't know what it was. First of all, you guys are all old, like adults, right? No, because you said 2014, and I'm like high school. Like, were you? I don't know how old you guys are, but anyway. But I feel old lady right now. It's my favorite scene. It's the one where the two guards were sitting there eating out of whatever. that can.
Ravioli. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then the gun, you know, he was creeping on, and you saw the gun, and then he's blasting, you know, just blasting on it. That was so cool. Like, but it was okay. It was when you walked out, Baltazar, and you were so focused on the other guard. Why are you laughing?
Because it's funny. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just so cool to hear you talk about it.
It's absurd.
Okay. And the way you walked out, your expression and the focus, for some reason, it's the best scene, because I don't know. It was like a superhero. As you can see, if I had pearls, I would clutch them. Stop laughing. But it was attractive. I was like, wait a minute, this is my favorite character now. Oh my god, like I was attracted to the guy here. It was the look.
Then I know,
I'm like sweating.
That will be my new
I usually don't act
tactic
like this, but
when hitting on us. I'll do that exact thing.
just
walk
blasting
up
on
in
the
the
guard. No, that's so sad, but for some reason I saw it, like looked at it specifically for 3 times. But anyway, I just want
if I can add one thing about that scene, that's actually the only scene that is from the original 2014. So
half of it.
Those two
but only the angles on the guards eating. We shot those people in not Guy Manley. We shot those guys in 2015.
Oh, really?
And in the old version, Manley actually approaches them with a bow and arrow. Of course, his weapon of choice every time he managed to build one. But he has the bow and arrow and shoots him through the neck. So he was just sitting there like screaming. And then we think that like for the Swedish audience, their English in that scene is pretty broken, pretty questionable. And we just think that the acting in that scene is so incredible that we couldn't catch lightning a bottle twice. So we were like, somehow we're gonna make it so we can use the old footage of the guards but shoot new footage of Manley. So all of the shots on Manley are from 2021. And all of the shots on the guards are from 2015, so they were cut between a few years, actually. So that's only because we wanted to keep something from the old, because we're in such a weird position to be able to make this.
Exactly.
so we wanted to keep something, and that was the only shot, only scene.
That's
both for the technical reason and also because the acting is impeccable.
Oh, okay.
But Guy Manley,
I thought you were trying to say like
Guy
that
Manley
whole scene was
grown up.
Oh, because I was going to say that was like that scene was from 2014. I would have just been like,
No.
oh my god,
Oh no.
oh
We
no.
got shots of the guards.
I'm definitely going to have to take out that entire thing because somebody's going to be like, you creep. Oh my god. I would never hear the end of it. Okay, I just had to tell you that. I don't know why I told you that. I actually have it in my notes. Make sure you tell them. Yeah, but anyway, the dummy. Like you could tell it's a dummy. Is that what was the whole like joke for that? Because you could tell as it throws like it's here and there and flips
it's because
around.
Dummies are awesome.
It's funny with ragdolls.
And the dummy's name is actually Carl. Which is the name of the first stunt dummy that Dennis built when he was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So
I
lives on.
Yeah,
it lives on.
I built a stunt dummy when I was like 10 because I thought I need a stunt dummy if I'm gonna make movies. And I named him Carl, and then he broke, of course, because he's a stunt dummy. So every new stunt dummy we still name him Carl.
So that's why in the credits you actually see stunt dummy just Carl. Like Zendaya or Beyonce, no last name. Yeah, but we love the dummies. It's so easy to get a laugh out of the dummies when you just embrace the dummy.
Do not try to hide the dummy. Just showing the legs go over the body, like
really, exactly.
dummy just to embrace
But
that.
you should know it's very hard to get a dummy to land exactly how you want it to.
Yeah.
We have a lot of outtakes where the dummy just lands totally wrong, and it's not funny. It's just too weird and wrong. So it's gotta land. It has to land funny and right, but still
not exactly right.
It's still
not natural.
Exactly, not natural. Enough wrong to be funny.
One of besides when the guard hit Guy, and you landed on top, and I paused it and saw the face. But what got me the very first time that I was just laughing was it was such a great touch, is that when the guard threw him and he was like, "Oh, you're throwing things, or something like that," and he threw himself back as the dummy. Like, I was like, who comes up with this stuff? Because that was not what you would expect. That's what I really like about it. Like, is expect the unexpected. You just don't know when to expect it.
Exactly. And that's also like the only manly way. He just rolls with it. Like, okay, throw me, are we? Okay, let's go.
Baltazar, you were perfect as that character. I could not see anyone else play that, because it was just your facial expression, your eyebrows, your character, the way, like even the small details were caught on. And I think that was very important, but also because it was made by 4 friends, and you could see the love and the passion, and you really wanted to finish this story, this movie. To know that friends and family, so much support, you could definitely see that. And almost not a lot of money was put into it, but a lot of time.
A lot of time.
It's so important. It's so important. So, but it's also a learning experience, because then, the next film, may not take like 6 years or something like that.
It's gonna take 8.
8 years later. The scene where you have the music, but then when you hear, is it Lewis, right? He's in there and he's listening to it, and he's like,
exactly.
Like,
that's my favorite shot in the whole movie, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't see that in films. Like,
no.
It's just the background that you think it's playing, but
and
put it in there.
He hears the music through his speaker, so like, where's the music coming from?
It's manly, radiates,
like a
heavy metal, rock and roll aura.
That's like the canonical explanation, is that Manley just makes the music come out. Because when you see the guard who's watching him, you hear the music low, and when you cut to Manley, the music is clear. Back to the guard, it's low, and when Manley comes towards him, the music is clear again. So it's diatonic and diegetic
at the same time.
All of it just pours out of Manley's pores.
That is. Yeah, man.
The visual effects in here were just outstanding. I've seen green screen work. $100 million films, and it's just horrific. How did you guys do that? I mean, I don't even know what to say, because I don't do anything like that. But it just because what I read, it said 1,500 shots or something like that was done.
97% is visual effects, or has some kind of visual effects in the movie.
Exactly. From the whole movie is 1,607 shots. And there are some kind of visual effects manipulation on 1,553 of them.
So it could be like some small cleanup, or it could be totally CGI.
Exactly. And it's me and Anton who's made all of the VFX in the whole film.
So, Baltazar, does that mean that you wasn't acting with anyone most of the time? You were just being shooting, like not shooting, but they were shooting you while you would do whatever you needed to do?
I suppose some scenes were me acting nothing, and then the other character was shot later, as I remember.
But mostly, most of the movie is shot on location. Actually, it's not that much green screen if you look at the whole.
Not in like the scenes itself. It's mostly green screen for the visual effects, actually, for the windows or the screens.
And in the intro with the dragon and the
all of those are green screen, of course. But the dragon were real.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of green screen in the
actual scenes.
Yeah.
When characters are acting against each other, that's almost always on location.
Yes, except for windows.
Yeah. And like sometimes when we had a visual effects shot in the same location, we actually filmed the location, but then we did Baltazar on green screen because we had to add an explosion behind him or something like that. Yeah. So we tried to be smart with it and not make too much green screen just because we want to do green screen. We only use green screen when we couldn't. Yeah, when we had to.
Oh, okay. The one last scene I wanted to talk about, which, like I said, expect the unexpected, was when after you reach rich cash, you have your conflict and Guy decides to leave. Not the traditional way, not out the door.
No.
Like
down.
that was like he just backed up in his goofy and then balled up and went down. I was like, what the fuck? I was, why? I was like, that was so good.
Yeah. And that's actually like a funny thing about that is because that happens out of a necessity that we had to shoot the final fight down at the garage again. So we were just like, okay, we need to
leave this location quickly. How do we do it?
Yeah, and how do we do it fun? Because we could have like, let's get out of here. But that's not fun. It's fun to watch him cannonball throughout an entire skyscraper.
And we wanted to explode the tower.
Yeah.
So we also had to leave the tower. So they can't die right there. So
that's when Manley makes the genius choice to leave a bomb and then get out of there.
Yeah.
But that also make you think when you see the tower, how far he had to drop down, because it wasn't like boom, boom, boom. There was like all the way, and then rich, like it's like it's gonna hit the bottom. Oh my god!
Oh, superhero landing!
Great. Yeah, it was so great. The money in there, was that in like? I don't know what Swedish money looks like. That almost look American to me.
Yeah, we made rich cash dollars because he's the richest man alive, so he has his own currency.
Or it's actually his father, Cash Senior. On the
we have made dollars, but we have modified them with the Cash family.
But the placement, I was like, wait, that looks a little bit American.
Yeah,
we have
they are based on the American dollar.
Yes. Oh, okay. So I wasn't crazy.
Dimburg, the city is where the movie is taking place. It's a nondescript American city.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Team America?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have
many times.
Okay. Was there any influence from that? I know that's kind of like out of pocket because the bar scene, the clothing, the hair, and then Okay, you know where I'm going with, right?
Not super intentionally. But
we think about it all the time.
Yeah, we like.
Yeah, every morning we come to work and everyone has AIDS. AIDS.
Okay, because when I was looking, I was like, wait, I see that, but I also see I've seen like John Wick, Matrix, Mission Impossible, Batman. Especially he's talking about his parents. I was like, oh, here he goes.
We usually describe the movie as Dumb and Dumber mixed with Mission Impossible, so that's like when we describe the movie to new people who haven't heard about it before. That's
if you want to be gonna describe it easy and want to be quick about it, Dumb and Dumber meets Mission Impossible, kind of.
Yeah.
Because it's more dark than Austin Powers. Austin Powers is also like there, but it's more
lighthearted.
That's more lighthearted.
And Austin Powers is a full-on parody. Guy Manley is more of a homage, love letter, parody, satire at the same time.
Yeah,
because we love all of these action films and
all of the cliches we're making fun of. We do it because we love them.
We love the cliches, and that's why we want to honor them and make fun of them in the same time.
Baltazar, are you ready for Guy Manley 2? To revise that character?
Absolutely.
I hope so.
If
because it's
we get if we get a budget for like more projects down the line, I'm all for it. I'm there.
It should be an iconic character. Like, I cannot see you play that character and it's gone.
Everyone should have one of those cutouts that's behind them in their living room. Like,
Yeah, exactly. The paper cutout.
If I was out there, I would take all kind of photos with that. Some of them inappropriate.
Nice.
We're all adults here. We're all adults.
all adults.
But yeah, I do see this as at least 2 more films. I mean, something.
Yeah. We have plans. So
we have plans. And,
Well, I
and
hope
also,
so.
if you keep an eye out, we're gonna release a music video for the heavy metal version
theme.
where Manley is actually already back for a
Wait,
for
are
short.
you in it? Are you in the? Oh well.
Yeah, because I'm the one who's singing it. So
No, not you.
No, I'm there in character.
Yeah.
I'm there as Shane Van Vane.
Shane Van Vane.
Yeah.
So he's singing the song together with a band full of cash guards playing the guitars and playing the drums, and then at the end they have a real connection. Shane Van Vane and Guy Manley. So you have to see for yourself. So we're
Okay.
But we're gonna
keep on doing it.
We're gonna release the music video
a week after. The
a
premiere.
week after the premiere.
Oh, okay. Send me a link.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I definitely want to see it, but I've been talking about this film since I saw it. I just keep posting. People are like, "What is this?" Because my following is mostly horror, and it's why would you like? I'm telling you, it's not a horror movie, but I mean, people's eyes are getting gouged out. The heart extractor. I mean, there's so many. So. Yeah, it does, and so. To tell you the truth, I kind of wish it was more, like a lot more. But you do get what you get, and it makes sense. So maybe less is more. I don't know, but it's right up in there.
More is more.
More is more. More in the
more
sequel.
Is more. So the next one, I want a full blown like intestine swing, and maybe he's doing some jump rope.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Some double dutch. Maybe some intestines are attached to a machine, and he gets in and be like double dutch. I don't know. But I want to say thank you so much for this conversation. I knew it was going to be fun because I mean, I've seen a lot of indie films. I just cannot believe it's an indie film. You guys were fantastic. Baltazar, you were amazing as Guy. Now I got a small crush on Guy. I'm sorry. He was
don't be sorry.
Goofy.
Don't be
I
sorry.
mean, he was just. I like goofy guys and but serious, and it was just like perfect.
I'm
the goofiest guy.
With the character or real life?
Art imitates life.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me get rid of the guys down there, and we could talk. No, I'm just.
You get to work on the second part, and you can solve this out.
No, I'm just playing, maybe. But anyway, but there is a character that does pop up. I'm not gonna say who they are. He's one of my favorite actors. That I just love him. I love him. And so when I noticed it, I was like, what? How did you pull that off? So I'll leave that out for people to find out.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. I didn't know he was Swedish.
Oh,
you didn't?
No, I thought he was because he always played a Russian.
Yeah, he plays Russians.
So
he's one of the biggest Swedish international actors.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we just stumbled upon the opportunity to
ask him
to pitch the idea, and he was like, "Let's go, baby."
Oh.
So
congrats on that. So
thank
you so much.
No, thank you
for having us.
We're so happy that you enjoyed the film. We say to a lot of people the goal for us was just that we could sit down, grab a beer, and watch the film, and to hear you all the way from the States. Loving the movie so much. It's really.
Well, have you got anybody else from here, from the States, to talk to you guys about it, or
not like this?
Not like
not like
We're the first.
You're the first.
See, Okay, so
Your Baltazar
it's gonna
first.
blow up here. I'm like, let me tell you about this Guy Manley.
Yeah.
But man, that's another time. But anyway, I'm just joking. So, but thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Make sure you see this film, laugh, put it in your collection when it comes out, stream it, whatever it is, you will not be disappointed. This is one of the best comedy thrillers, action I've seen in a very long time. I have to say it's my number one of the year. Makes sense. You guys did such a great job, and I can't wait to see what else you have. I can't say anything else but that it was a fantastic film, and you did such a great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It means so much to hear this.
Yeah.